All right, now we're live. All right. Hey, this is Brent Leary, and I am here with Rebecca Wedeman. And with surprise, this is like a unexpected pop-up watch party for
Whoop,
the.
whoop.
Wait a minute, Patrick isn't there, isn't he? And the venerable Paul Greenberg is doing what retired people do, I guess, just hanging out.
Golfing?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him hold a golf club, so I don't think so. But we're here because this is another important keynote. This is a product keynote mostly, and it's being this one is basically being run by the president, chief product officer Amit Zavery. I hope I said his name right because sometimes I butcher names. But I'm really excited to see what's going to happen today because I got a little tip. I was recording
Hot tip.
yeah, I was recording a conversation earlier today with Colin Fleming, who's the CMO of ServiceNow, and he said this what they do in this. There's a demo in this keynote that literally blew me away. So if something blew Colin Fleming away, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
So before everything gets going, because they're in the pre-show phase here, what were your thoughts of day one overall?
A lot of good customer momentum is really what I took away from yesterday. I mean, I think we talked about this going into the keynote yesterday, that as much as you can talk technically about what you're able to do with AI, unless customers are actually talking about how they're using it in production, it's sort of like a tree falling in the forest. So I think what we saw both yesterday and today is like real customer examples of how they're able to expand things at scale, how they're able to expose it to employees and customers, and how they're really able to manage, govern, and track the AI in a way that makes it business ready.
All right, we look like we're in a countdown, so why don't we see what they're talking about here?
All right.
You know what? I will say this. It feels like there's more energy in the room with this particular conference than some of the ones I've seen earlier this year.
To lay out the ServiceNow blueprint for Agentic business, please welcome to the stage Amit Zavery.
All right, thank you, Idris. I always wanted that welcome. Welcome, everyone. How is everyone doing? All right, how is everyone doing?
Good response.
Thank you for joining us at Knowledge. Hi, Bill. What a great keynote yesterday, and thank you for your vision and leadership. Also want to thank our amazing marketing team and our CMO, Colin, for a great Knowledge event.
Yep, I agree with that totally.
And our incredible product and engineering team, who have been working very hard at the innovations you've been seeing this week. So thank you for all the hard work you do, and they've been very, very busy, as you can imagine. And Paul and go-to-market team, thank you for keeping us on our toes and keeping us humble and hungry. Thank you for all the work you do. What a year we've had. What happened in technology
That's a nice touch. Both Bill and Amit kind of recognized their internal teams.
AI has gone from concept to a movement.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that before.
Innovation has never been faster. And the security landscape
kind of nice
has fundamentally changed now that AI agents are working with us every day. But there's one thing that hasn't changed. ServiceNow is still about putting the power of technology in the hands of people doing the work. Before the world started talking about workflows, ServiceNow saw the complexity buried in manual tasks and built a platform that connected people, systems, data, end-to-end, and to make the world work better for people. Now in the world of Agentic AI, we are leading again by extending to every corner of your business with AI that delivers real results. But we know the enterprise landscape is chaotic right now. That's because the average business has been running hundreds of apps, each with its own tech stack, data model, and security policies. And the systems underneath them were never designed to work together. And that's what we call the patchwork enterprise. Everyone is optimizing their own piece, but no one is orchestrating it as a whole. And that's why only 19% of enterprises are actually getting value from AI. But the companies that are seeing real results
Are they using
are
a
the ones with
research
2.5x
of their own or
better
analyst firm
outcomes
research when
from
they
agentic AI are
use
the
those
ones
kind of
running on a
numbers?
unified platform with
I don't
governance
know.
built in. And only ServiceNow brings together data, AI, workflows, and security on one platform. And that's what makes us the AI control tower for business reinvention. And for over 20 years, as many of you know, ServiceNow has been the operational backbone of the enterprise. And we run on our platform over 100 billion workflows and 7 trillion transactions every year, powering your IT, HR, CRM, security, and core business processes and functions, and for all the world's largest organizations out there. And at that scale, gives our AI and agents productivity, governance, and trust from day one. Today, we're giving you the blueprint for building an agentic business, where AI senses, decides, acts securely at scale. And since every blueprint starts with the people who build, that's where we'll begin, with the engineers, developers, and creators who turn the architecture into something the business can actually use. As you have seen nowadays, innovation has never moved faster at the edge. There are a lot of tools out there like VS Code, Codex, Claude Code, Figma, and others, where you can build products and prototypes very quickly. But because of these prototypes and prompts and agents are scattered across teams and tools. And the result, because of this, is dangerous gap between prototypes and production. And today, we are closing that gap. By building anywhere and running on ServiceNow, you go from prototypes to measurable business value. And here's how we're making that real. If you're building in ServiceNow Studio, Build Agent is right there with you. Purpose-made for ServiceNow development and the most powerful building experience on our platform. And if you live in other tools, no problem. Build Agent meets you there too, with core skills now available through the ServiceNow SDK. But some of you might be thinking, if you have the engineering talent, you have access to foundational models using APIs, why build on a ServiceNow AI platform when you can assemble those pieces yourself? Here's why. With ServiceNow, you can use any environment or coding agent, and you'll get the full power of the platform with enterprise-ready governance, security, and compliance at your fingertips. And as we announced yesterday, ServiceNow Action Fabric extends the same platform power to every AI tool already running across your enterprise. The Build Agent skills and MCP integrations are already live today. And to learn more, make sure you attend the developer keynote at CreatorCon tomorrow. It will be a very deep dive in the technology we are delivering for you today. So now please welcome Danielle to show us what Build Agent would look like inside an enterprise environment with CV as well.
Thank you, Amit.
Thank you, Danielle.
You. All
This ought to be
right.
interesting.
AI has fundamentally changed how we build applications. Let's take vibe coding as an example. It's about using your natural language and your intuition to generate code. But let's go
Thanks for
further
hanging
than
out, Michael.
just code generation. Let's have a look at how we can build full applications with the right workflows, data, and governed logic. Now, I am a developer from CVS, and the business have just approached me, and they would like to add a new benefit for pet insurance to their benefits application.
Oh, Patrick would like
As a
to.
developer,
pet
I want to
insurance.
work in the coding tool of my choice. And in this scenario, I'm in Claude Code. So I'm going to quickly enable the plugin for Fluent at ServiceNow and use a very natural language prompt to add pet insurance to the benefits application. Let's get this off and running, and this right here is Fluent in action. This is ServiceNow's modern coding framework, where we have open sourced our build skills and platform knowledge so that you can vibe code a ServiceNow application in your coding agent of choice. But what you will notice is that this application is built with the right data model from the very beginning, right components and data model. This application has even been ported into a ServiceNow sandbox environment, isolated away from production and ready for a governed deployment process. So I think on that note, let's jump into ServiceNow Studio. And in the corner, we can see our extra care benefits application was just updated. And I'm getting a number of AI recommendations for how we can improve this application. Now, step one was to build the application, but step two is to make it autonomous. So the platform is recommending that we build an enrollment AI agent. It would understand an employee's eligibility, manage the end-to-end enrollment process without any human intervention. I think it sounds like a great idea, so let's go ahead and use Build Agent to create this custom AI agent for our application. This, again, is taking the app from just responding into a mode of acting autonomously just in time. Now, our AI agent is ready. It has the right instructions, skills, and roles to act autonomously. However, we aren't done quite yet because we need to test it and make sure that this is actually production ready. So I've run a few automated test scripts and we have a readiness score of around 90%. So a couple of changes which will move into the next release, but I think we're on track to submit the deployment request. So as we review our release notes, as I like to say, let's get this baby up to prod and deploy this application so that our CVS employees can benefit from the pet insurance benefit. Now, I have a dog at home, so I want to learn more about this pet insurance benefit. Let's
Patrick
see
wants
it
to
in
know
action.
more too.
It looks like the AI agent for eligibility is checking whether I'm eligible, and I am. Fantastic. So my little Chihuahua, Frankie, let's get him added to the pet insurance right there. There you have it, everyone. We have changed the game for app development, and at CVS, there don't
Do you think that's really her Chihuahua?
decide,
I don't
and they
know.
are governed on the
Good boy.
ServiceNow platform. Amit, on that note, back over to you.
You know what I noticed? A lot of Australians have been on these keynotes across all these
Thank you,
different companies.
Danielle.
It's
It
really
was incredible to see
I remember
how
that 5 years
ServiceNow
ago.
Auto, Build Agent, and the coding tools come together to build enterprise-grade apps faster than ever. And what Danielle showed to you today is one example of what's possible. At any given moment, ServiceNow platform is orchestrating work across the world's largest enterprises, the systems they run on, and the teams that depend on them as well. It's powered by 4 interconnected capabilities that turn AI inside workflows into autonomous execution. One platform to sense what's happening across every system and every workflow, decide with the full context of how your business actually runs, act in terms of through the workflow they execute across departments, systems of record, and cloud, secure every agent, every identity, and every asset. That's your blueprint for agentic business. Now, let me hand it over to Gaurav to take you into how AI that senses.
Thank you, Amit.
You know, Garth,
So at ServiceNow, we believe that for work to be truly autonomous, you need nothing short of a complete sensory nervous system. And this sensory system must connect all your data wherever it lives, control it with enterprise-grade governance, contextualize it with enterprise-wide intelligence, and then converge that contextualized intelligence right into the flow of work. So first, connect. Workflow Data Fabric is fundamentally architected for the agentic era, connecting all your data wherever it lives and allowing humans and AI to treat a vast patchwork of enterprise data as if it were one. See, most data fabrics are primarily built for decision support, for insights. Workflow Data Fabric is built for insight and action with read and write capabilities
that was a nice
and support for
distinguished
all
way
types
to
of data,
distinguish that.
structured or unstructured, internal or external, static or streaming, still or sparkling. And that's another crucial distinction. We embrace the system of record and data platform choices you've already made. You can, but you don't have to, move the data into ServiceNow. Look, I know there are others who are playing for data gravity, but for us, what really, really matters is knowledge gravity. We even have a conference with that name. Workflow Data Fabric already offers 250 plus connectors, and we're expanding our reach even further with 100 plus new zero-copy connectors, so customers can access data wherever it resides, no replication required. With full support for MCP clients, so our AI agents can work with any MCP-enabled source. With Auto for Workflow Data Fabric, so customers can describe what they want in plain English and let AI build the integration for them. But look, connected data is not the same as AI-ready data. To ensure AI decision accuracy, you need data that's fully visible and governed throughout its entire life cycle. You need tight control of data, and this needs to be non-negotiable. So that's why we're introducing ServiceNow Data Catalog, which delivers native metadata management, data lineage, privacy, and ultimately trust.
Ooh, that got a whoop. Did you hear that?
So that humans and AI agents can now instantly discover and use curated data products safe in the knowledge that these data products have your enterprise's seal of approval. That's great, but getting data AI ready isn't a one-time activity. Enterprises have to keep it AI ready. And so, to ensure ongoing AI readiness of data, we're taking our data control capabilities even further with a complete autonomous data governance capability. And so we'll be delivering data quality, observability, enrichment, policy management, all unified inside the ServiceNow AI platform. And we'll offer this through a combination of ServiceNow and partner products in our massive workflow data network. On to contextualize. We've connected the data, we've put it under control, but to really drive trusted decisions and actions, AI agents must have clear line of sight to business context. Public LLMs are blind to this, but ServiceNow isn't. With 100 billion workflows a year running on our platform, no one is better able to understand our customers' business context than us.
That number
So
has been
that magic
called out so far twice.
Context engine.
Yeah.
So our platform of platforms, as Bill likes to call it, now has a graph of graphs. And that graph brings together our knowledge, action, access, asset, and decision graphs, all anchored on our powerful CMDB. And right into that context engine is built our market-leading semantic layer that we have used as a foundation for a new solution that we are announcing called Autonomous Data Analytics. This is big. So think conversational and natural language analytics to guide the what happened, what will happen, and what should I do types of decisions that AI and humans have to make every day. And so it's fully autonomous. Think an embedded, always-on AI analyst working tirelessly on your behalf, surfacing insights, interpreting enterprise-wide data in context, spotting issues, detecting outliers, providing recommendations, even taking action. And finally, converge. Today, enterprises analyze in one system, act in another. We decided to unify both at the database level with RaptorDB. We have RaptorDB Standard, which is freely available to everyone, and a premium RaptorDB Pro that delivers even greater performance and scalability. And today, I'm excited to share two important new capabilities we're adding to RaptorDB Pro. Live Archive, cost-effective archival solution for ServiceNow that allows you to then seamlessly query across hot and cold data. And Live Connect, which lets you point your existing BI tool against RaptorDB Pro for real-time analytics with no ETL or data movement. So there you have it, the 4 C's of our sensory system. And if you'd like to learn more about them, please join me at the Solution Stage A at 1
I like
p.m. today.
how he presented.
Now,
He
to
had
tell
a
us
lot of
more about the
passion
decide component
along with the
of the AI
information.
control tower,
I just like
it's
that
over to
he's
you,
excited
Nansha.
about this. It really shows through.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, Liz, for whatever reason, Liz's comments are showing up in StreamYard, but she's there, and she also said "woohoo."
Sense, something my wife says I don't have enough of, but gives AI live access to data across the entire enterprise. But seeing and understanding data are 2 very different things. The large language models powering AI today are extraordinary at understanding language and reasoning through complex problems. They were trained on the internet, so they're incredibly good at finding patterns in text, code, knowledge, and the fundamental substrate of the internet, cat videos. But what they're missing
We got a pet theme today. I like it.
how
Yeah.
your specific business actually operates, leading to the unfulfilled promise of autonomy. For example, when a server goes down at a financial services company, and my one desire is to have it restored, most AI models will believe when I say that I want it that way.
Oh, very good. Well played. Well
This-
played.
I have to say, I'm enjoying the energy here. Look at that room.
Context engine will
They're
tell me
way too serious.
I want it that way. The heartache when 14 downstream services broke the last time we did it that way, and whether the risk team is going to tell me it ain't nothing but a mistake to do it
All right.
that way
I'm going to go
again.
solo for a bit while Rebecca re-energizes her laptop.
I'll be right back.
We told you Backstreet is back. That's because context is different from data. It's the history of every decision your business has made, how that decision got made, and what happened next. The more decisions, the more history, the more context. So the real differentiator is whether AI has the business context to make decisions that you would trust it to make on your behalf in the middle of a critical workflow. This is where ServiceNow's 20 years of modeling enterprise operations becomes a compound advantage. We've been mapping the extensive relationships between people and processes and assets and services and policies across every touch point, building the enterprise intelligence that AI now gets to operate on. This includes our knowledge graph. It includes the CMDB relationships, the cyber asset graph, and the decision graph. Context Engine unifies all of that into a single organizational layer. It takes a snapshot of every factor involved in a decision, including what was happening, what action was taken, and what outcome resulted. Once AI has full business context, inference becomes proactive. And because every decision, every action, and every outcome feeds back into the system, it gets smarter over time. That's the difference between a model that can reason generally and a system that reasons about your specific business and improves every time it acts. Now that we know what Context Engine does, I'm going to turn it over to the one person who can make Context Engine larger than life. Please give it up for Sharadi Patel.
Thank you, Nenshad. We will see you back on stage tomorrow at Backstreet Boys. All right.
Nice.
Now, we all know that AI is only as smart as the context that it has. And most AI is pretty good at suggesting, but with Context Engine, it goes beyond suggesting to taking action that's both accurate and precise. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to step into the role of an HR business partner, and someone on my team that I support, Sarah Johnson, wants to make a lateral move in the company. All I'm going to do is type one sentence here into Auto. I need to process a role transfer for Sarah Johnson from finance to business operations, effective Monday at 10 a.m. I'm going to step away and let Context Engine handle the rest. Now, the first thing that's going to happen is User Graph is going to pull together a complete picture of Sarah, starting with her role, her tenure, and her location, but also, more importantly, systems that she's supposed to access. Now, 4 years in finance for Sarah means 4 years of accumulated access to things like Workday and ADP payroll and her finance SharePoint. User Graph also knows what she's going to need on the other side, SAP, Teams, and her new business operations SharePoint. So User Graph has basically mapped who Sarah is today and who she needs to be on Monday at 10 a.m. and fed all of that over into Context Engine. Next, Knowledge Graph is going to surface the right rules and policies to keep this transfer moving forward. It's showing me that access to Sarah's finance systems has to get turned off first because that is company policy, and every removal needs to be documented and logged for SOX compliance. And for every system on Sarah's list, both old and new, Knowledge Graph has surfaced the right playbooks for provisioning and deprovisioning access. Okay, so we just saw with User Graph that that's showing us the systems that Sarah's supposed to access. But with our Security Graph, this is going to show us the systems that Sarah can actually reach. And as we all know, those two things are not always the same. So Security Graph is mapping every permission path for every connected system that Sarah has. And yikes, her blast radius is pretty significant because she still unintentionally has access to things like executive compensation data and board reporting files. But Context Engine has already mapped all of it for removal, and her access is cleanly removed and fully documented. All right, so we're on to our fourth and final graph here, which is Decision Graph. And this is where the decades of work running through the ServiceNow platform are really going to pay off. It is taking all of that institutional history and turning it into intelligence that's calibrated to how your business operates. So what do I mean? Here, Decision Graph has analyzed 23 prior finance to business operations transfers in my organization, and it's picking up on something that most managers wouldn't even think to check. It's showing me here that employees who complete 2 specific courses, Business Operations Fundamentals and SAP Reporting Essentials, onboard and ramp 50% faster than those who don't. So of course, I'm going to enroll Sarah today. I want to pause here for a second because this is so powerful. Decision Graph isn't just picking up on prior patterns, it is proactively solving problems for me that I didn't even know I had. All right, let's fast forward. It's Monday at 10 a.m. and Sarah is walking into her new role and everything just works. Her old access is gone, her new tools are provisioned, and she is well on her way to becoming a smooth business operator. Now, I know we just went over quite a few graphs, 4 in fact, but no single one of these graphs was going to give us enough information to make this transfer happen. It's only when we can reason across all of that simultaneously, your people, your policies, your CMDB, your prior decision-making history, that is when we get intelligence that can actually run your business. And that's Context Engine. And nobody is going to give your AI more business context to work with than ServiceNow. Now, to share how our platform becomes even more powerful with our partners, I'd like to welcome back Amit on stage.
That was actually a really great demo. So far, this day 2 has all been very good.
Great job.
I love how they explain and walk us through.
So we have shown you how the platform senses your data and decides with full business context. The next natural question is, how do the best models in the world plug into that? One of the ways we make this possible is through strategic partnerships and an open ecosystem. Any AI model, any data source, any cloud, any hyperscaler, and any tool, as you saw earlier. One of those partners is Google Cloud. So let's welcome Karthik Narayan to join me on stage to talk about what we're building together. Karthik. Karthik, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, of course. Karthik, last week at Google Cloud Next, you guys unveiled a lot of new capabilities, and we also unveiled a significant expansion of our partnership in terms of how we bring autonomous operations to the enterprise. Can you just share about how are we moving together and the shared vision we have into reality?
Yeah, first of all, we are so delighted to be partnering with ServiceNow, and I've always felt that the level of synergy that our two platforms bring together to make things frictionless for our customers is unparalleled. I think the market has moved from the stage of asking, whether should we use AI and how do we use AI to, adopting AI at scale. And scale is generally misconstrued where people sometimes think it's about volume. It's not about volume. It's about adapting AI not just as a feature in an existing workflow, but to reimagine workflows with AI, as a core architecture to it. And that's where I think our partnership is bringing that agentic enterprise vision to life. And we are doing that in three ways with you. Number one is everybody's talking about Google's full stack AI capability.
Yeah.
And we are bringing that full stack capability to the ServiceNow ecosystem. And that is from our hyper computer infrastructure to our models to our agent platforms to the agentic data cloud. All of these capabilities are plugged in, and the connection is not just a company to company one pipe connecting. We are connecting it at every level of the product stack, so that you will be able to seamlessly integrate our models into your workflows. The data platforms talk seamlessly, not, while there are agent to agent protocols, those are thin pipes. But if you really want to run a workflow seamlessly, almost like a first party experience. And that's the core. When we talked, and Bill and I talked, we always talk about how do we give a first party experience to our customers. And that is the intention that we are doing at that level. The second thing is the unified governance.
Right.
There is a
Okay.
seamless integration between the Gemini
What I missed?
Enterprise Agent
He's back.
platform and your AI control tower.
I don't know.
What do I
Like,
mean
you might have
by
missed. There's a really good
when
demo.
somebody creates an agent and
that-
Did I miss
registers that
the
agent,
demo?
that registered
That was
agent
a good one. I'm
automatically
sure
gets
there's some other
registered
ones,
in
but that
Gemini
was
Enterprise,
that was
and
really
it shows
good.
up in the console of Gemini Enterprise. The
Did I
second
miss
thing
them
is
singing?
on Gemini Enterprise, somebody can
Huh?
directly
Did I
create
miss them more
a
singing?
ServiceNow agent, and it's
Nah, you
registered
didn't.
on both places, so that there is seamless governance that
It's
organizations can have,
the Google Cloud
especially
conversation
the
right now.
CIO, CTO,
Okay.
CDO
How they're
community
connecting
that's
at
sitting
all
here
the different
have
layers of
agent
each of
sprawl
their.
as a challenge. And the third is we are breaking the data barrier. So we are directly connecting our agentic data cloud with your data platform, so that there is seamless integration for thick context. Everybody is worried about long context. There is also a concept of thick context. You need to be able to process so much data real time
I thought about
to
thick
be able to give the
context
experience.
before.
So that's how we are doing.
Thanks for sharing that. I think this whole first-party experience where agents can be discovered across all the different technologies out there and bringing that together, I think has been a great partnership as well. This leads directly into the two major innovations we are also now introducing to the market this week, right? Around customers and the field operations, around this idea of intelligent gateway vision for CX and the native integration of Gemini Live into ServiceNow Field Service Management. And that has been a lot of co-innovation between the teams.
Okay.
Just it'd be great to get your idea in terms of how you're taking this to market, as well as what the customers and technicians on ground should expect out of that.
Yeah, I think the fundamental challenge that AI is solving is something called as context blindness that gets created when either a customer is interacting with an enterprise or the field technician is working on a problem. And the reason for it, and let's take the example whether somebody's calling a support and they are switching channels from chat to voice to video, or they had a conversation and they are coming back after 1 hour. There is a lot of context, and all the emotion that was discussed during that call or that interface is lost. And the reason for it is all traditional systems record the end state of a transaction. It records what somebody ended up buying or what was the end resolution of a product. It does not track the entire context or the traversal that takes to the end point. AI's ability is to track and record the entire traversal, so that you understand the emotion, so that you don't feel like you are repeating. That is what we are trying to solve it through these two innovations that we're creating. The first one is for customer experience. We have a product called Gemini Enterprise for customer experience. What we are now doing is that is going to create and
Look into
capture
that
and
one.
hold the context across all these channels, but it is going to be directly integrated with your knowledge graphs, so that when somebody is talking, say for example, you're working with your, calling your telco, and you're saying while you're traveling abroad from the airport, you're asking for certain changes, more data, certain changes in your plan, and so on and so forth. And now you have to board and you cut the call and you log in to your app after the flight takes off. Usually this context is lost, right? And now what we are doing is that entire context is maintained and it is mapped with the knowledge graph on ServiceNow, so that the actual information is pulled from ServiceNow and the action is taken on a button click. So that's the integration from a product level. Gemini Enterprise for customer experience is going to be directly integrated. The knowledge engine for that is going to be ServiceNow for a lot of aspects for customers, where the data is already there in ServiceNow, and we also feel there's a lot more use cases where that information should actually be in ServiceNow. So we are going to push that from that perspective. On field service, this is a huge problem, because it's the perfect example of a lose-lose proposition, where an inoperable equipment is the biggest
I'm glad they're talking about field service.
dissatisfaction for a customer, and a truck roll is the most expensive thing for an enterprise. And as a result, first touch resolution is the most important metric that everybody needs to have. But all the time when a technician goes in, there's almost like a physician kind of a scenario. The most experienced person is able to do the resolution, but anybody other than that results in multiple times the field technician needs to visit. Now what we are doing is we are integrating Gemini live reasoning with audio visual context with ServiceNow, which means that somebody could make AI watch the equipment performing. It can hear some sound, a noise getting created before a break, and there could be a smell that is coming from some burning or something that the technician could talk and activate this. What does that do? Step 2, that activates the sub-agents in ServiceNow with skills exposed for whether that HVAC system or some other equipment, and it actually provides the wiring diagrams or cited repair solutions from the experts, so that you could solve the problem. And step number 3 is a lot of time is wasted on after service records management. So all of that could be done by Gemini into ServiceNow directly. And also in certain cases using Nano Banana, you can create new diagrams and manuals and so on and so forth that could be created. So this would create a seamless experience, but it solves a problem that nobody wants to have at the field.
Thank you, Karthik.
This has really been
details of how we integrate
I didn't
all
know
our products together.
even I had that kind of focus on CX
AI
at the enterprise.
Valuable execution and making it really a first-party experience. So thank you for that partnership. To take us further into AI that acts,
well, they have the
please
big
welcome Kelly
partnership
to the
with
stage.
Five9
Thank you, Kelly.
too. So I think looking at it for customers, it's sort of where does Google end and ServiceNow or other partner begin, right?
This is my buddy, Kelly Roman. I met her years ago at Oracle Open World event.
And how Context Engine helps AI decide.
I think at the time she was at Hilton Hotels.
Understanding. Now we get to my favorite part. What happens when AI actually does the work? Taking action has always been at the core of ServiceNow. We are the system of action. And now we've extended that DNA to the agentic business with AI that executes. We've gone autonomous. That means every capability I'm about to show you runs inside the policies, the permissions, and the governance your
It's funny how
organization
ServiceNow is
already
really
has in
going
place.
all in on the
Deep, full
autonomous story,
visibility,
where we've heard other folks kind of pull
full
back from
audit
it.
trail, and full
And that's-
control.
Yeah.
That's winning all day long.
And I mean,
So let's
now
begin
everybody's using the
where
agentic
we
business,
started,
but they're kind of
with a
using
solution that still
kind of
runs
both.
the enterprise today.
Mhm.
IT
Yeah.
service management. This is where most of you began your journey with us.
Well, and it just
And we thank you for
underscores
that.
to Bill's point
That's where
yesterday about
CMDB was
you have to
born.
be able to
It's where
secure,
workflows first
govern,
connected with real
manage,
business
audit,
services, and where a
trust
platform
that
earned
AI is going to
its
do,
reputation
and that
as
you have
the
that sort of
system
kill
of
switch
action.
to stop
Yeah.
it
AI
if it's
agents
not
use
doing what it's
CMDB
supposed to, or
in
if
our
you have
knowledge
sort of a
base
bad
to
actor
diagnose
management.
issues,
Right.
determine root
Yeah.
cause,
You
The
have
whole
to
term,
have
handle
really feel
IT requests
comfortable with
from
it being
first touch
autonomous.
yeah.
to
The whole term,
resolution
actually, Colin
autonomously.
mentioned the going
Before
road
the business even
thing
knows they're an issue.
in our conversation.
And as a CIO,
Hello,
I am so here for that.
Allah
Live it
Din
every
Mai, I hope
single
I'm saying it right,
day.
from
At
Morocco.
ServiceNow,
Greetings from Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us.
90% of our IT
Hey there.
support requests are handled autonomously.
Or bonsoir.
That's what it means to go from roadmap
Wow.
to reality. And yes, it is live
So
in
many
production
talents
today.
there.
Thank you, team. Love, yes.
She's got so
Teamwork.
much energy. Every time I've
To
talked
learn
with
more
her,
about
it's
autonomous
this.
IT, head to
There's
the
energy all
Spotlight
over the place.
session right after this keynote. Team will be there to take care of you. And what's even more exciting is what works in IT works in every other corner of your business too. HR and employee experience. AI agents remove the friction from onboarding, workforce operations, and everyday employee requests. In security and risk, AI agents detect threats, close compliance gaps, and remediate vulnerabilities real time. In-app development, anyone can build on the platform faster. With AI code generation, accelerating workflow creation and testing, amazing. And you've heard it yesterday, we've introduced autonomous CRM. Now a sales rep can see the full picture of a customer in one single view. A support case arrives pre-triage with context for the human support agent, and orders flow from quote to fulfillment without manual handoffs. So what you get are AI agents working on the same platform with the same data in these same governments. That's huge. Am I right? Woo! Right?
They are really hammering on the governance, and I like the way that she just said it.
All of this
Like
comes through something
everything is
I'm really
operating
excited about
under the
is
same
autonomous workforce.
kind of system.
These AI specialists are agents trained to do a specific job. They have defined roles, they're assigned to existing teams, and they execute workflows end to end. And the best part, they're not starting from scratch. Autonomous workforce is possible because of everything we've shown you over the last 2 days, combined with all of the years of institutional knowledge already built into the platform. So what you're activating is what you've already invested in. And we announced yesterday we've got 20 new AI specialists to cover every corner of your business. So IT professionals out there, I got you. HR, we got you. Customer service, you get one too. Finance,
It's
of
Oprah
course,
now.
there's one for you. Security, you know it. We got you. And many, many more. They all operate within your existing assignment groups and your existing governance. That's the beauty of the platform. You truly get AI that thinks and workflows that act. Now, let's focus on our awesome customers. CVS Health, who Amit mentioned earlier, has delivered over 2.5 million AI conversations, saving valuable time for patient-facing and customer-facing work. Here's what I love about it. Everybody wins. Now, we want to show you what this could look like at CVS Health. Let's go, Nikki. It's time to show the amazing demo. Come on up.
Is this CBS?
Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for that amazing setup. My name is Nikki Patel, and I'm joined on stage by the lovely Miss Brittany, who's going to help me drive the demo. Now, as the product lead who led the team to build the first autonomous worker, I am thrilled to be here on stage to show you how this is going to transform and elevate your teams. Now, let's go ahead and explore what that means for you and your teams. For the purposes of this demo, I'm an IT service desk manager at CVS Health. Now, I start my day by going to my homepage, and I can already see the L1 IT Service Desk AI specialist I onboarded yesterday in action. And for the first time, the tedious work is getting done even before I realize it exists. Common tickets that used to sit there for days, if not hours, all resolved. Though I'm noticing something else. Software access incidents are spiking fast. They're piling in. The queues are piling in, and all the capacity I had left over is getting
CVS
quickly
is a
absorbed.
big
Now,
5
this
million
is
customer.
usually the moment my
Oh,
team
okay.
starts to lose control and fall behind. But this time, it doesn't. The AI advisor steps in. The AI advisor proposes we add the software asset management AI specialist to the team, purpose-built to absorb this type of demand. Now, it's continuously scanning my instance, my environment, and tells me exactly where to add the next AI specialist. I didn't have to go looking for capacity. It showed up right when I needed it. Now, as you can see, the AI advisor explains the role of the software asset management, SAM, the AI specialist, and why it matters to me based on the context and data it's mined. Now, when access requests spike, the bottleneck is familiar. There's no clear view of available licenses, and let's not forget about the arduous process of manual fulfillment. But the software asset management AI specialist removes that friction. Though, what if I don't want it to handle all of it? What if I want to be in control? And in the words of Nenshad, what if I want it that way? So every AI specialist
She
is
didn't
fully
sing it though.
configurable. I define what it can and can't do. And these configurations directly shape its behavior. No prompt rewriting, no instruction tuning required. I craft the experience I want, and the AI specialist adapts. So every interaction feels natural and consistent with the way my team operates. Now, how does this AI specialist actually do its job? And how is this different than a single AI agent? I know we've been throwing a lot of terms at y'all during this entire keynote, so let's go ahead and take a moment to define what this means. Now, an AI agent executes specific actions. This is where you want human on the loop, in the loop, and it requires a lot of creative judgment. You only want AI agents to be doing specific actions. Now, an AI specialist delivers an end-to-end outcome. It's a coordinated team of AI agents, each trained for a specific job, working together as one team member. And they're not acting in silos. They're collectively running within your workflows, your policies, and your rules. Now, imagine having to go build all that yourself. As you can see, anyone can spin up an AI agent these days. But what's hard is making it reliable, governed, and consistent every time it acts on your business. A system of agents, coordinating decisions, passing context, enforcing policy, and staying in sync as everything around you and your business keeps evolving and changing. The complexity doesn't stay flat, it compounds. But ServiceNow has already solved for me what's hardest to get right. They've built, trained, tested, and are governing this AI specialist for the job out of the box, designed to operate in my instance, on my data, and my policies. And just like that, it's onboarded. So now we have two AI specialists working together. We have the L1 IT AI specialist resolving common L1 incidents, and then the software asset management AI specialist resolving software access and licensing. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like in action. The moment the incident arrives, the L1 IT AI specialist starts triaging it. But it quickly realizes this isn't an incident, this is an actual software access request. So what it does is it creates the request and routes it directly to Sam, the AI specialist. Now Sam, the AI specialist, quickly realizes there's no licenses available, 0 capacity in licenses, and 52 employees are blocked. And at CVS, every minute blocked is a minute they're not serving their employees, partners, and customers nationwide. So Sam, the AI specialist, acts by first reclaiming the idle licenses and then procuring the delta, and in parallel, sending approvals to finance and procurement, and proactively updating all 52 employees. Now, the moment approvals is cleared, access is provisioned. Now, what would have taken weeks is resolved in a matter of minutes. This is what a coordinated autonomous workforce looks like in production. Work
You know
doesn't
what we
wait in
don't
queues
see
anymore.
in this
It
though
gets done even
is
before anyone notices it's there.
Like, can I look at the
end-to-end
code and
across
see
your
what
workflows
the
within your
prompts are and
guardrails.
what the agent's actually doing?
Now, next up,
Yeah.
let's hear from one of our amazing customers who's helping people on a path to better health. Take it away.
Our purpose is to simplify healthcare. One
So
person,
far, I like the way they've
one family,
integrated these
one community
customer
at a
vignettes.
time.
Fix it up. Yeah, it's nice.
We have an incredible responsibility. CVS Health serves 185 million customers, members, and patients.
And 300,000 colleagues caring for them.
That's right.
Deliver better service for our customers, we have to deliver better service to our colleagues.
This is the story of CVS Health and the ServiceNow AI platform at work and at scale. We often talk about human connection, and the technology we build is with that in mind. With AI, the industry changed, and ServiceNow evolved with us.
I remember when we first got ServiceNow Employee Works at CVS Health. We call it Artie.
Nice to meet you, Artie.
Before, I spent a lot of my time looking up information, but now, whatever I'm working on, whatever I need to get done, I know that answer is right here.
That's where ServiceNow Employee Works became more of a thought partner than just a tool.
What we love about ServiceNow Employee Works platform is that you can ask it, it'll tell you it, and then it'll go do it. You're all in the same user experience.
It takes action?
Yeah. So say I'm having problems with my computer, right? With ServiceNow Employee Works, it can go in and diagnose that answer, fix it, or put in a ticket for me.
Inside other applications?
That's right. So I'm able to stay in the flow more to focus on more strategic work. So for me, that transformed my work. I work smarter, faster, better.
If you scale that to 15, 20, 50 colleagues, all of a sudden you've recovered 5,000 hours of productivity. That's real time. That's real money.
That's big.
We've had over 2 million conversations with the product in just about a year.
And our return rate is over 75%. That means that folks are coming back to the platform over and over again.
Whoa.
No matter who you are as an employee, there's work that you have to do and there's work you want to do.
So imagine in a store, when a customer comes in and says,
Excuse me, my child is at home with a flu.
You know what?
or whatever it is.
It just hit me.
People have time to listen, to guide them.
Colin has brought a lot of this style
Bingo.
from
That's why we're here.
Salesforce to here.
When
This,
CVS Health works,
this is how
the
they
world
used to
works.
do these things.
Mhm.
The same, like, I was wondering why this felt like really,
Familiar?
yeah, that's why.
We have looked at what's possible with CVS Health across multiple demos today. They created a single employee experience with ServiceNow Employee Works. One front door for everything across IT, HR, procurement, corporate communications, and store operations. Work moves faster, stores runs more efficiently, and teams can focus on what CVS Health is really about, delivering care. With that, I'm excited to welcome Alan Rosa from CVS Health to join us on stage.
I like his style. Just the hoodie with the jacket.
I love the shoes.
Already got
Thank
me.
you.
With the hoodie, yeah.
My wife picked it up.
Oh, I should listen to her. So, Alan, in just 9 months, your team has unified your whole employee experience with a single AI platform. Walk us through what made that possible and the move that fast at scale and the value you're seeing so far.
Well, look, every story starts with a bit of gratitude, and you go along with people. I'm fortunate to work with the best colleagues, best engineers in the world, and that's our CVS Health engineers and colleagues who make this possible. So my gratitude goes to them. You know, when you extend upon that, you don't do it alone. Our partners, our account team from ServiceNow, who are with us every step of the way. Our partners from Deloitte, KPMG, RSC Consulting, and Tech Systems.
You know what I like about
audience today,
how he's
supporting
speaking?
us, cheering us on.
He is
So our
just
gratitude goes to
speaking
you as well.
normally, naturally conversationally. No, not a
So let's get
script
down to the
reading.
tactics.
It really
Um,
comes across
The
better.
denominator here is discipline and focus.
That-
You got to stay on
You're right
task.
though about the Colin
Numerator
style,
is
right?
defining your problem,
High
making
production
sure you get
quality
rid of the tech
customer
debt.
video and then
You're
bring
going
up
clean,
spokesperson
not fast.
for a quick chat.
Finally, your architecture
It was
matters.
bugging me. I was
So
like, I've
let's
seen
break that
this
down.
before.
Right?
Now I know.
Define the problem. Frictionless and disintermediation. We want to make sure that our colleagues know that problems are going to get solved. They're not going to use the tool. The tool
They're
doesn't
doing a
address
really
the
good
issues that
job
they're
of
having.
picking
So we
customers that
settled
can
on what the problem
tell their
definition
story
was.
too.
And then we aligned internally. This was not a product selection. It was a change in operating model, the way people worked. And then we aligned ourselves internally. Technology, HR, finance, procurement, store operations. There's no sense in building a front door if people aren't going to walk through it.
Right.
And then secondly is, let's not go fast, let's go right. Let's remove the tech debt. So we initiated a 7-month project called Greenfield, where we essentially rebooted the platform, all of it. We were able to do that in such a way without disrupting the business, but re-enabling it so that when we launched these new capabilities, ServiceNow was ready for it. And we did that together. Then lastly is the architecture, enabling the conversation. MoveWorks handles the intent of the conversation, but ServiceNow does all the heavy lifting, the approvals, the workflow, the system of record. Now we're moving from a conversation to an outcome.
This
So
guy's really good.
220,000 people using the platform.
Very articulate, yeah.
4.65 million plugins that are being leveraged. We're talking about removing 255,000 calls to our service center operations. Those are real outcomes. As we say in CVS Health, boom.
He's getting wow, that's pretty
No,
good.
it's a very impressive journey, and I think to be able to do this in a short amount of time and to be able to get this volume of usage is very impressive. Thank you for the partnership and the work we do together. As CISO as well, I mean, you're doing impactful work of securing AI that touches the care of 185 million Americans. What do you think it takes to kind of do that kind of trust at enterprise scale?
So this is a slightly different conversation. Trust is the only capital that CVS Health really has. We lose that, we stop functioning as a business. You trust us for a reason, and we take that very seriously. So when we engage in an AI conversation, we're only going to do things that make sense and that we can deliver that value. Everything we look at from an AI perspective is about privacy, legal, security, and governance, but we're not doing it. Full stop. Right? So we undertake this. We think about, okay, can we put the guardrails in place to ensure that we can protect you, our members, our patients, and our customers? And as a CISO, the other thing I think about is that AI is breaking every single mental model we have when it comes to security. You're thinking about prompt injections, you're talking about data leakage, you're talking about data model validation, and it's a perpetual evolution. One of the reasons that we're partnering with ServiceNow and we're excited about Control Tower is we're building a warrant system that's not as human dependent. That's too slow. We need to innovate at horizontal scale, especially for a company of our size. This is the optionality you're now giving us, and we can build this together. And lastly, zero trust. Trust nothing, verify everything. We have to make sure that we're taking the right steps. The last thing, and it's the most important part, engagement of your board, your ELT, and your stakeholders. Make sure you're bringing them along for the ride. The frameworks are there. We all know NIST. We all want to get up the ISO frameworks. Listen, we all want to get up the MITRE stack, right? You're doing the right things, right? Tabletop exercises, penetration tests. That gives you the remediation roadmap. Follow it, right? But understand where your duty care have come from, right? The Mershon standard, INRI care mark. That's the case. You don't know it? Google it. It's out there, all right? Manage your risk, put it together. The tools are there. Get them out there.
No, thank you, Alan. I mean, this is exactly what you describe is going through everybody's mind here, right? So the building trust so AI can scale. Exactly what every enterprise is now trying to figure out, and all the things you're solving with us has been a great way for us to co-innovate and build the products which will help everybody here as well. So thank you for sharing that. So it brings us to the next critical piece of our blueprint now. Everyone, please welcome my colleagues, John, Evgeny, and Tarun to the stage. And thank you, Alan.
Thanks so much, Amit. It's such an honor to be here in front of you with two absolute legends in the cybersecurity industry. Please help me in welcoming Evgeny Dibrov, the co-founder and CEO of Amis, and Tarun Thakur, the co-founder and CEO of Vesa.
John, thank you so much. It's incredible to join forces. Let's go.
Thank you so much, John. It's so great to be here. We are super excited to join the ServiceNow team. I can tell you, having spent most of my life on cybersecurity, there is no better time than ever to be in this market. And the AI is the best tailwind for this market. Let's go.
And the good news is securing the agentic powered business doesn't start from zero. We're building on a fantastic base. Our CMDB is already the IT asset source of data gravity for our customers. Every connected model of the enterprise, every system, every dependency, every workflow is mapped in this masterclass, powered by our unique data model. What we're doing now is building on that foundation. We've assembled the right building blocks necessary for security and risk and business outcomes for the agentic era. First, our cyber asset graph, powered by Amit, our access graph, powered by Veza, and the long-standing incumbent knowledge graph that's been the foundation of ServiceNow for so long, in combination, becomes the architectural building block for the security and risk capabilities that the agentic enterprise is unlocking. And all of this is being made available to our customers and partners through the context engine.
Let's start with cyber assets. The attack surface today has expanded so much beyond IT. It's about OT and medical devices and IoT devices, cloud and code, AI agents. The attack surface is exploding so much. At Armis, we are protecting today 7 billion devices and monitoring their day in a life. And imagine that all the legacy tools cannot see and protect 80% of these devices. Only we can do that. Absolutely. And AI extends it all to the physical world and expands the attack surface even much more.
That's right, Evgeny, and that's why Armis is so important to closing this asset visibility gap, even expanding to pre-compilation assets like code. This is an absolute masterclass that we're assembling, right, Evgeny?
And at Armis, we are providing continuous visibility and control over any connected device, so organizations can really defend and manage their whole attack surface in every environment, every critical area, in every industry.
And now that we have the full picture of both IT assets and the cyber manifestation of those assets in place, what's the next logical axis? Where do we have not only a right, but a responsibility to play? It's access to those assets. So organizations get visibility into who and what have access to the what. Tarun, why don't you tell us more about this?
John, thank you. This takes me back to July 4th, 6 a.m. Where we deeply had this intuition and conviction since the founding of our company, which is permissions define the purest form of identity. And we were built for this moment of AI. And AI, with AI is being deployed with broad system access, commands calling, agents talking to agents, calling APIs, making decisions on behalf of a human, with no human in the loop. Every large language model, every copilot, every agent needs an identity and a permission. And those permissions are system-specific permissions.
And the challenge, and I've lived this myself for 26 years in cyber, is most organizations have no idea what data-level permissions are actually allowed. And it isn't that you're doing anything wrong. The incumbent systems for previous eras were simply not designed for this era. And Veza is our identity security solution for the agentic era.
Absolutely, John. And look, the core data model which we love in this audience
look closely at Veza.
Is what we built with Veza Access Graph that John alluded to before, and
Have
talked about it earlier. Over the last 7 years, with thanks to many of you in the audience,
on the Armis
we have
thing,
about
I haven't
120 billion
really looked into Veza.
fine-grained permissions for humans, for non-humans, and for AI agents, those identities in the Veza Access Graph. Thank you so much for all your trust. Every agent gets scope permissions with our access graph and least privilege enforcement at the moment of action.
And these assets and access capabilities are already working together. This is not science fiction. Our vulnerability response AI specialists, which we announced here at Knowledge, runs an autonomous penetration test over both pre-compile and post-compile assets, powered by AWS's security agent. Thank you for your partnership, AWS. Fantastic example of collective defense in action. This agent cross-references its findings with your actual business context. That third axis I talked about, it then determines which systems matter the most, who and what has access to those systems, and as a result, what's exposed. In seconds, it turns a list of vulnerabilities into a prioritized action plan powered by our context engine. The magic is this context engine can feed our workloads, but it can also feed third-party workloads. We truly want to collectively defend our way of life by meeting you, the customer, where you are. And then it proceeds with proactive remediation recommendations in real time and at scale.
Let's talk about that third dimension, which is knowledge. It's the intelligence layer that connects relationships between policies, vulnerabilities, attack paths, and everything across the whole enterprise. This is about making sure that what should be happening is actually happening, and we are controlling it. You've already seen what Context Engine can do, and in security, it takes on a very special and additional role.
Absolutely. And asset intelligence and access intelligence working in combination form the spine of the context engine for security and risk outcomes. So when Amit discovers a vulnerability on a previously unmanaged device, Context Engine already knows which production line that asset powers, which team owns that asset, and what the business impact of downtime to that asset would be in order to remediate findings.
And AI Control Tower sits on top of all of this. It discovers every AI system across the enterprise, and if a workload drifts, Control Tower will catch it and will trigger an immediate remediation workflow.
And with that, we all know in the world of cyber, architecture matters. And with that mindset, we have built very specifically for architecture to be open, especially in the world of cyber, where the decision context is available now through ServiceNow Action Fabric, as you heard from Amit yesterday. And the platform gets more stronger and stronger once we bring more workloads, as we bring more ecosystem, as we bring other ecosystem partners and build together with it.
And as part of this responsibility, we just launched the AI Center for Cyber Defense to bring together governments, infrastructure providers, and the whole security community to further advance cyber defense in the AI era. Now, let me give you the bottom line. ServiceNow provides the only end-to-end AI-native platform for autonomous security, the only one. And we are purpose-built for agentic business, and we are uniquely positioned to build the biggest cybersecurity platform in the world. Any asset, any identity, any workflow, and we are the only ones in the world that can do that. Let's go and win, guys.
I like the guy. That's awesome. What I'm talking about.
Awesome.
I have to say, I really love the enthusiasm that's been from the beginning all the way through to this point. It's really been great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That was actually kind of fun. Oh, there's Liz. Finally, we get some Liz comments. I'm so here for these again. If everything feels very genuine so far.
Yeah.
Great job. Very good.
Oh,
Nicely done, Todd. Good job.
But now, suddenly, I've morphed into becoming a CVS Health security administrator. So CVS Health powers all of the workloads increasingly with AI. Some are assistive, some automate, and some are autonomous. But there's hundreds, literally, of models, agents, tools, systems of all types that power CVS's operations. The moment I log into AI Control Tower in the morning, I see, wow, the AI asset security score has fallen overnight. Why? AI Control Tower gives me that answer. A new alert has flagged that the Aetna, and for those of you who aren't American, Aetna is a wholly owned subsidiary of CVS Health.
Yes. Yep.
So the Aetna Benefits AI agent has been flagged for anomalous privileges. Wow. Why does this agent have anomalous privileges? And bear in mind, this agent is an ergonomic workload that helps a member gain insight about their coverage conversationally. in their own natural language. So the objective of the agent makes sense, but it's a risk even of leaking PII. Member names, addresses, and phone numbers potentially can be exfiltrated by folks who don't have the scope permissions for that data. Now, to be clear, this agent was built with good intentions. But Varonis, another third-party partner in the room, thank you for your partnership, detects that it's gained elevated permissions and can inadvertently share PII with other members, requiring immediate action to stop a potential data leak. In addition, our Armis-powered asset intelligence, as you can see, shows how this information can be shared with other systems and other downstream dependent agents. What I've done now is temporarily disable this agent using ServiceNow Vaser. I removed elevated permissions that the agent self-provisioned itself to complete the intent by which it was designed to execute. And then as a follow-up, an exposure record is automatically generated in ServiceNow Exposure Management, now supercharged by Armis. But wait, I found an anomalous operational circumstance in this agent. So now my worry is, what else is out there? So the shadow AI detection capabilities of AI Control Tower finds 3 other agents previously not discovered or managed. AI Control Tower brings these agents under management, and 4 new cases are open as a result of its findings. 1 for the Aetna app agent that I previously discovered, and 3 for the incremental agents that were discovered through shadow AI discovery. I marked them all as managed. This triggers continuous security, governance, and continuous controlled monitoring across every managed asset, not just agents, tools, MCP servers, and all of the other architectural prerequisites that power the agentic era. I want to wrap up with what I've shown, just to make sure it's clean and pithy. First, we caught an agent with elevated permissions that it self-provisioned. Second, vulnerabilities were discovered from this agent, and our early warning workload that we just acquired from Armis helped to enrich the control tower with
I haven't heard
incremental
anybody
signals
else
back to them.
talk about
We executed end-to-end containment with a human in the loop.
to manage.
We
And
uncovered shadow AI agents that we previously didn't know
that's
about.
really interesting.
And I have 3
It
figures
is.
up instead of 4. And we then
It's very
created
much
exposure
talking,
management
obviously,
incidents for
but
all the
super important
findings
as I think about
with audit-ready documentation.
all the shadow AI.
An inherent part of the AI control tower. It's
And
important to note that in this use case,
especially when you have these
CVS Health's
third-party
current
agents,
modality for
and
autonomy
it seems to be able to,
requires a human to be in the loop.
use
AI
their
control
governance
tower can
and
also operate fully
security,
autonomously, from
place
monitoring
whatever
to
they do,
anomaly
make sure they
identification
have
to remediation.
the provisions to actually do what they are intending to do.
Right.
Completely outside of the third-party agent builder. That's actually pretty.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, John, Evgeny, Tarun, and Brittany. So when you put all of this together, AI that senses, decides, acts, and secures across your business, it redefines how the world works. And our customers are seeing incredible results. Adobe is resolving outages 25% faster with autonomous IT. Bell's fully automated 90% of dispatch-related tasks with autonomous CRM. And Siemens is resolving 210,000 tickets per month automatically with autonomous employee experience.
That's a lot of tickets.
These are real organizations driving real results today. Now I'd like to move the spotlight from our customers to people we started with today, the builders.
It's a big reference.
The people who take incredible tools and turn them into enterprise-ready solutions, which is why I'm so excited to have CJ join us, a 12-year community member and 5-year MVP on stage. Welcome,
Wow.
CJ.
This sounds a lot like Golden Hoodie time here.
How are you, CJ? Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'd love to hear from you. How is your experience with ServiceNow today different than a few years ago? And maybe also talk about what you're most excited about next.
Yeah, absolutely. So first I want to say just how grateful I am to be a part of a community that makes knowledge feel more like a family reunion than a business conference.
You know what? That's another Colonism.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You didn't say Ohana, but you got close.
So what's different
they can
for me
beat that.
is really everything on the platform. specifically though the tooling. So now we write code in Studio, we build apps with with Build Agent, and we deploy them with Release Ops. Right? None of that was available when I started. So this is a lot like waking up in the future for me.
Thank you, CJ, for joining it.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, the things that I look forward to, I think, on the platform, ServiceNow University, actually. So for me, ServiceNow is all about the people, right? And the people and the community. And ServiceNow University combines education with inspiration to create a lot of opportunity for people who wouldn't otherwise have it. So the people are the next generation of the community, and that's why I look forward to ServiceNow University the most.
Look forward to you kind of continue to participate with all of us and sharing all your knowledge as well. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you, Amit.
Yeah, thank you.
That was really interesting.
So before I close,
Well,
I would
they
take a
needed
moment
to
to
talk
thank
about
everyone
ServiceNow
who made this event
University, so I'm
possible.
glad they fit that in.
Our customers,
Yeah.
our partners, the analysts, the media who hold us accountable, and everyone at ServiceNow and every single person in this room. Thank you. As CJ just mentioned, knowledge exists because of this community and because of all of you here. The last 2 days have been amazing. We introduced incredible new capabilities to help you drive more value. ServiceNow Auto is a brand new way to get work done end-to-end with an AI conversational experience across the entire platform. We have 20 new AI specialists that execute complete workflows in seconds, with even more coming soon. With AI Control Tower, you get live visibility and control of agentic systems at enterprise scale, all with a new conversational experience. And so many more exciting other things we announced today as well. All of this combined means you get the best agentic platform for putting AI to work. So here's my ask. Head to the expo to explore the AI Control Tower firsthand, and don't leave knowledge and go back to the way things were. Take one agentic use case, put it into production, prove it that works, and then expand. And if you're a leader or builder asking, how do we scale AI without losing control? Download our blueprint for building an agentic business. It's a deep dive into the architecture that makes it real.
Yes.
So the agentic business starts now, and it starts with every person in this room. Let's build, secure, and govern it together. Thank you so much for coming, and let's go.
All right, I guess that wraps up the main keynote for day 2.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think?
You've got a team, you've got a room full of people who are concerned about AI from a vulnerability and risk perspective. And there's a lot of security blankets being passed around that room this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I thought day 1 was good. I think day 2 is actually better. The way that they weave the stories in and they kind of kept hammering away at the governance and security from day 1, and then they kind of started demoing it and bringing those customer stories even more, integrating into that story. And they did it in a way that actually the energy was there. I mean, you felt like people in the room. You could kind of feel and hear the people in the room.
Yeah.
And of course Liz sort of backed it up. And Liz seemed, well, Liz is always excited. She seemed to still have her energy in there. And I like we talked about the videos, the vignettes. We know now, one of the Holland imprints, it comes through that. Even the last bit about kind of bringing the community into this. I think you're going to see more in that as the years go by.
Mm-hmm.
They did a really good job both days. I think I might have liked today a little bit better.
It's always hard to figure out like what to fit into a keynote. I would have loved to hear more about ServiceNow University.
Yeah.
And how it's helping people upskill with all of these new capabilities. There's not a big presence on the expo floor for ServiceNow University, so I'd love to hear more about that.
Yep.
But I think all in all, we heard a bunch of things from ServiceNow over the past 2 days in terms of the sophistication of thinking about not just building AI agents, but putting them to work at scale in a way that I don't have to worry about them,
Yeah,
that we haven't heard from anybody else.
absolutely. I was getting ready to say it feels like this is the first set of keynotes that went beyond the traditional conversations that you have around either generative or agentic. This felt like a much more mature, well thought out, and even the strategy seems to be ahead of some of the other conversations I've heard at these keynotes. So yeah, this is really good. I really appreciated the way they kind of addressed the AI anxiety thing with the governance, a lot of that governance and risk, and like your favorite, the kill switch. I think those are things and themes and topics I hadn't really heard, and the way that they brought them all together, I think, was really effective so far.
Yeah, yeah. The point that you can build an agent in a lot of different places today, right? But how do you secure it, manage it at scale? How do you deal with the shadow AI problem?
Yeah, yeah. So if we had to say on a scale of 1 to 10, where would we put this?
Well, we can't give them a 10.
I never give 10 unless there's a Prince tie-in or a Rams tie-in.
I will say that the Backstreet Boy weave-in was good.
When the guy started singing,
Yeah, that takes some.
that takes some guts.
That's chutzpah. Yep. Anyway, good stuff. Good stuff.
Absolutely. All right, so we better go because I know we both probably have conversations and other stuff going on. So I'll just say I think the 2 days of the main keynote and this one, they did. I'll just say all in all, I think they did a really good job with it.
A lot of meat and a lot of products that are already out there for people to look at too.
Yeah, yeah. So well done. Just say that, well done. And I really shouldn't be surprised because we kept on saying it over and over. Oh, we've seen this stuff before. We've seen this setup before. So we could see the imprint of Colin Fleming on this, and it's a good imprint. So, all right, we'll go. Is there going to be a crunch next week?
That is an excellent question. Yes, yes, there will be one next week.
Okay.
I'll be teasing the content later today.
Oh, nice. All right, we got something to look forward to, folks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to go, so we will see you. Thank you for joining us, and
Thanks,
we'll another watch party at some other time. There's always a big event, so there's going to be some watch parties. See ya.